Okay.
Yes.
But attorney, before our viewers get confused, because now there's another issue with SM, let's talk about the main issue, which is the SM Aura
yes.
property. Okay. Tell us about the background first of why that property, which used to be Fort Bonifacio land, is now actually BCDA property. Why is that?
Yes. Well, in the master plan of Fort Bonifacio, and even in the law creating BCDA, it requires a retention of about 40 hectares of property to be utilized as national and local government centers, sports facilities, and parks. Those are the 4 uses: national and local government centers, sports facilities, and parks.
Okay.
So, well, it was the land was requested, demanded by Taguig to be given to them to be utilized as a civic center where the city hall would be built.
Okay, clarification, attorney. So you said 40 hectares out of the entire Fort Bonifacio was
Yes.
reserved for you, as you said, sports facilities, parks, and national
And local government centers.
local government centers. Okay, and of this 40%, what did BCD? I mean, how does the city of Taguig now come into play with this 40 hectares?
Yes. Well, they requested for from BCDA to give them 33 of that.
Okay.
So, and specifically that the area where SM Aura is now located.
How big is the area?
That's about approximately 5 hectares.
Okay.
5 hectares. So, we gave it to them to be used as city hall and parks and sports facilities and government centers.
It was very clear.
Very clear.
Yes.
It's very clear in the law. That's
Republic Act, what is that? Republic Act?
Republic Act 7917.
7917.
Yes.
Okay.
The reason is, you know, in a city like that, you have to have open spaces. Like, you know, like New York, for example, Central Park is a very prime property, but you can't touch that for commercial use because you need a breathing space, an open space for cities like that. And that's the idea behind that. And it also makes sense for us to give it to Taguig as to be used as city hall and government center because right in the heart of business, you also need government services.
Of course.
To serve the business.
The commercial needs of the establishments.
Getting permits, of paying their taxes and everything.
At the moment, it's so difficult because you have to go into Taguig really.
Precisely,
to get, as you said, permits and to pay taxes and stuff. It makes sense.
Yes.
Okay.
So, but unfortunately, when we convey the property to them, we are not aware that they have plans of giving it to SM to be used for commercial purposes.
When was this conveyed or given to Taguig? In what year is this?
In 2008.
2008.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you were unaware. So what happened? You gave BCDA gave the property to Taguig.
Yes.
And what did Taguig do after that?
Well, according to them, we were not privy to this because we were not really aware of what happened. According to them, they bidded the property out, and SM came out as a winner to lease the property to be used as a, well, even the lease agreement speaks of a civic center. So even the Taguig and SM lease agreement speaks of a civic center. So based on the documents, they are actually reinforcing our position that it's really a civic center.
Was there actually a bid that took place?
I don't know.
Because I mean, if you have a bid, it's public.
It should be, yeah.
And you would assume that big player. I mean, it's a prime piece of real estate. You would accept big players would be interested.
I would assume that, but unfortunately, I have no information. We were caught surprised with that. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, and then in 2009, we had rumors that it's going to be a mall. So, but we have no way of confirming it. So, well, in 2009. SM filed an application for building permit with Bonifacio Estate Services Corporation.
Okay. What is that?
Yes. This corporation represents all the landowners and developers in the entire global city.
Okay.
Whose task is to impose the design guidelines and restrictions for the city. There must be someone who would regulate the developments. Otherwise, an uncontrolled development will also mess the entire.
Of course.
Yeah.
Who is involved in the Bonifacio Estates?
These are represent. It has a board.
Okay.
Who's representing all the landowners in the Bonifacio Global City. So it would be BCDA.
Okay.
The FBDC, which is joint venture of BCDA and Ayala Corporation and Butch and Evergreen Holdings.
Okay.
And the other landowners who are like Net Group,
Okay.
of Charlie
Okay.
Rufino,
Okay.
and other landowners.
Okay.
So it's not only BCDA or Ayala,
Okay.
it's the entire landowners.
Okay.
And because they have a stake in the development of the city and the imposition of restrictions and easements. So, and that, the restriction on the land use is in that SM Aura thing, it should be an institutional use.
Why was there a need for Bonifacio Estates Corporation? Why not just have BCDA? I mean, this is effectively the arm of BCDA to somehow oversee.
No, it's
the
not only
development.
BCDA is only one
But-
of the landowners.
But I mean, what is the setup? I mean, is there majority ownership of one of this company, or is it equal? I mean, what is the corporate
It
setup?
depends on the percentage of your ownership of the city.
Ah, okay. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
Got it. Got it.
How big is your
Okay,
your
okay.
ownership of the
Okay.
city?
Okay.
Yeah. So it's not only BCDA or Ayala. You have people like the Net Group also
Yeah.
of Charlie Rufino.
Yeah.
So that's the thing, you know. So
So a private entity basically having supervision of the development
of the city.
of the global city.
Yeah.
Okay. So continue after that.
Well, after that, they were denied because it appears on our application that it's going to be a mall.
Okay.
So the Bonifacio Estate Services Corporation said you are violating Republic Act 7917 and also the design guidelines and restrictions of the city, the master plan. Instead of complying, SM went to Taguig and get a building permit. So, so it was the City Hall who gave them the permit.
So this is in 2009.
yes.
So
that's right.
Bonifacio Estate Services Corporation denied their building permit, and they went to Taguig to get another. See, but see, attorney, the problem is where does jurisdiction start? Because of course it seems like it overlaps. You have, of course, BCDA and the other owners, landowners, represented in the Bonifacio Estate Services Corporation, but you also have Taguig, which the global city is in Taguig. So
Yes, yes.
which takes precedence? Which is
Well, of course,
is that a
it's
gray area?
The local government has the power to determine the land use.
Okay.
But you know, a well-meaning local government would actually strengthen and reinforce the master plan because that's how a city becomes sustainable. If you allow an unplanned development, the entire city would deteriorate.
So at the moment in the global city, anyone who wants to build anything has to get clearance from the Bonifacio Estate
Yeah.
Services Corporation.
Yes.
Now, how does this corporation now? What is its relationship with the city of Taguig? Because does it mean that after you get a permit from this corporation, you have to get still from the city of Taguig?
Yeah, because well, it's like a deputy of Taguig when it comes to the enforcement of the zoning ordinance. Because the master plan was also approved by the Taguig City Council. But in this case, in SM Aura, I think they made an exception to revise their prior approval and classify that land as a mixed-use lot.
Yes.
So
yes.
instead of an institutional, they converted it into a mixed-use property. So it's allowed now SM to build at this mall.
Okay.
So, but normally, if you are within, if the reason why you apply to the Bonifacio Estate Services Corporation is because you want to be part of the entire community of the Bonifacio Global City, because this is a community. BESC is a representative of everyone,
Of course.
of all
Of course.
stakeholders.
Of course.
So, yeah.
Interesting. Attorney, we have to pause for a break.
Yes.
But more questions
Yes,
definitely for me about SM Aura and the
Absolutely,
BCDA when Philippines UnCut returns. Stay tuned.
Thank you.
Attorney.